to this edition of the Hairdresser's Guide to Enlightenment. Today I want to talk about mirrors. Not the salon mirror, as you might guess, since I am a hairdresser, but actually the mirrors that the things in our lives provide us with that are actually messages from our soul or our higher self or the universe or God or whatever you want to call it. So I'm sure you've all heard the saying before, what you don't like in somebody else is what you don't like in yourself. I've hated that saying since the first time I've heard it. Haven't you? I mean, do we really need one more thing to feel bad about ourselves? I don't think so. So I want you to be very clear that the mirroring thing that we will be discussing now is not about having you feel bad about yourself. It's actually about empowering yourself to create what you want to create in your lives. One day, my boyfriend and I had kind of gotten into it, and he was not feeling satisfied. He was wanting me to be more or do better or whatever at some particular thing. Obviously, I'm editing a tad here because do I really want my dirty laundry all over YouTube? Probably not too much. So, anyway, he had communicated that he was wanting something, and I was not wanting it. Is this a mystery? Does everybody know what it is? Anyhow, I didn't want to. So I went into the bathroom, and I was going to go take a shower, and I noticed I was so grumpy, and I was thinking to myself, just lay off. I don't want to do something that I don't want to do, and just give me a break. Well, what I have learned is that as soon as I am triggered by something, when I have a reaction, that reaction is for me, and that it is not about the other person. And this is what I mean. In order for somebody to push my button, the button had to already exist. So, thankfully, Chris was showing up as a mirror for me to show me this button. So as I sat there in the bathroom, disturbed and annoyed, and realized I was triggered, I went, aha, here's one of those wonderful mirrors coming to support me. Yeah, I had a little bit of a facetious tone, as you might have guessed. But no, I really do believe this. So I was like, okay, here's a message for me. What is it? And the first thing I do is ask myself, what is my main complaint about this person? And in this case, my main complaint was that he should just give me a break. He should just lay off. Cut me some slack. Bingo! I had a tape playing that I realized where I was actually putting pressure on myself. He wasn't doing it. It was the tape playing that I should do this. If you're a good girlfriend, Misty, you would do this. And it's your job to make him feel good. You're not nice if you don't. Now, that wasn't his tape. That was my tape. Because I have to say, if I didn't have that tape running and he wanted me to do something that I didn't want to do, I would just be like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that. And it would be the end of it, right? So the question becomes, after you've had your trigger, after the mirror has been reflected back to you and given you the message, now what? Okay, so I have a tape playing that tells me that I should do more, that I should be better, that I'm not good enough, that sounded very Italian, that I'm not good enough just the way I am. So how do I let go of the pressure that I'm putting on myself in that situation? Well, I have to tell you, awareness is definitely the first step. Because for a control freak like me, just knowing that it's not about the other guy, because it's really hard to fix him, damn it. So to know that it's my stuff, that I can do something about it, that I can tell myself, you know what, I am good enough. And that's some old, worn out belief that I've carried around that has been forcing myself to do things for a long time, and not only in the situation with my boyfriend, you might guess. Imagine that. So, for now on, do your best to notice when you get triggered and embrace and thank those beautiful mirrors that are showing up all around you. Remember, number 1, notice when you're triggered. Number 2, ask yourself, what is my main complaint here? Then 3, ask yourself, am I doing this to myself somewhere? Or where am I doing this to myself? A lot of healing takes place in that. And I hope you'll use this tool, because I tell you, my happiness level has increased by, God, I can't even tell you how much. It's been actually miraculous, because before, quite honestly, I just spent a lot of time being annoyed. Anyway, thank you so much for being with me on this edition of Hairdresser's Guide to Enlightenment. I hope to see you next time.